All right, so first things first, I just want to apologize straight up for this being a kind of a unconventional review. I do not have my camera on today. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I'm just not presentable today. So if this is your first time coming to my channel, I apologize, man. We usually don't do things like this, but I gotta get this content out. I gotta get these thoughts out that I have, and just real cool. We're just gonna be real vibey with this one right here. You know what I'm saying? So, I've also got the I think it's what episode 3 preview just looping, so don't mind any background. All right, I'm done yapping. Look, episode 2, season 2. Look, man, what y'all think? What y'all think? You could tell from the last episode at the end of it that this was the episode. This was gonna be the episode. Obviously, if you played the game, you know what's going on. If you're a brand new watcher, you just been following the series, you just been watching the show. Hey, man, this was the moment that was very controversial when it came to the video game. I still don't like it. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, obviously I'm talking about the takedown, the elimination of that boy Joel. Now, I understand that it obviously had to happen because of the choices being made, but there's a different way, at least in my opinion, that this could have been done. I just think you gotta kind of flesh that thing out as far as how to tell that part of the story. I didn't agree with it in the video game when I played it, years ago. I don't agree with it now. And to be honest, looking at it now throughout the show, there's some parts of it that, I don't know, make me feel even worse about it. I don't know. I could be bitching right now, but I don't know. I just, looking at it, it just put that same bad taste in my mouth about it. Like, I'm just not a fan of doing it like that. Alright, but obviously this was the episode, and this does spearhead the rest of the series, which is kind of, Ellie's revenge tour. So, that was that. As far as the actual scene, I mean, it was, I like it. But last episode I had a really good part of it dedicated to how I felt about Bella Ramsey playing Ellie. And this one I want to talk about Abby. Caitlin Dever playing Abby. And it is more than what we getting from Ellie, for sure. But man, this one, I think, while I said on my last episode that I don't think that the appearance of Ellie should be what we critiquing here. It's more so like Bella Ramsey's acting. I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm starting to look at Abby and think like, man, this kind of feels weird without the, broad figure, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, and I could be nitpicking right here. You know what I mean? Because I don't want it to be one of them things where, just because, she was, I guess, brolic or had muscles or whatever, like, we're supposed to depend on her character being that or whatever. I don't even know how to say it, but I will say her not having muscles does take away from her character, especially like in this moment where, it looks like if I'm gonna get on how they got Ellie acting immature in the last episode, I gotta get on how Abby didn't really look like she would be in that situation taking out Joel like that. So I don't know. That's just me critiquing, but it is what it is. This episode was cool. I have no problems with it. Like I said, I was just talking about Bella Ramsey, and I mean, I definitely felt more conviction in the acting this week. It wasn't so much, joking around and immature shit going on. Obviously things picked up, things got more serious in the actual, showing shit, but I felt it a little bit more this week. I mean, we still got a ways to go, but like I said, I feel like we got a ways to go with everything. The show was kind of just, And that's a more better description, matter of fact, of how I feel about the episode. Actually, I wouldn't even say it was like super cool. Well, it was cool. It was cool. It was it was. I wouldn't say it added anything. Like, I feel like it added anything to how I feel about The Last of Us Part 2 or whatever. But it didn't take away neither. Actually, I think one of the better parts is the actual like scene that we got where it looked like the infected actually got, well, it didn't look like that it happened, but they actually breached inside of the settlement. That was cool because that's not in the game. That's a fresh perspective, and I think that low key, as someone who played the game and I know what moments happened there, I was way more interested in that, what was going on, than what I knew was coming with Joel and Abby and all that. I was way more into what was going on with what they had them going on in the settlement. I felt the emotion, you know, how they had to lock everybody up, you know, in the basement cellars and everything and protect everybody. And yo, like HBO, yo, like it was just looking at it, you got like that Game of Thrones kind of feel, like vibe. Like it was one of them things where it just shows you like, yo, like HBO, you know, they still on a shit with that, and it's just, you just got to see that budget in work right there, because that was one of them set pieces. It was one of them like great fight scene kind of things that you see that like you expect on, you know, good TV shows. So I thought that was super cool. I thought that was super cool, and it actually took over the episode for me personally. So I thought that was fine. I think it was interesting that they told the story through Dina being there with Joel instead of Tommy. If I'm not mistaken, Tommy was with him in the first game. Dina was actually with Ellie when they discovered all the weed and shit when they was in the spot. So I don't know how to feel about that still at this moment. That's one of them things where I gotta see how the rest of the series plays out, you know, like the rest of the season plays out. That's just how I feel. I don't know if it matters, you know. I don't know if it adds to the story or takes away from the story. Kind of like this, you know, like my feeling about the episode, you know. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it, y'all. That's basically my review. I mean, it was cool. I'm not even gonna. It was cool, you know. It was cool. I'm excited to see season 3. I'm excited to see Bella Ramsey's development, bringing Ellie to life, because this is when Ellie like really turns up, and this is when, you know what I'm saying, the getting gets good. So, you know, we'll see. But overall, this episode was it was cool. I knew what to expect, so I'm not really. I apologize if you're like, oh, this was super fire, or oh, this was like ass, or you know, it was whatever, you know. So that's just my honest opinion on it. And yeah, that's what it is. That's all I got for this video. Y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comments, man. I just wanted to hop on here and ramble for a little bit, yap for a little bit. I appreciate it if you made it to the end of this video. I sincerely do. I know I was just yapping. I wouldn't take this. I just wanted to get on here and just let my thoughts flow, you know? So I appreciate you if you made it this far in the video. Let me know how you felt in the comments about the episode and where you see it going. And I don't know, let's get some dialogue started in the conversation, or in the comments about the conversation of this show. So with that being said, I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and do y'all thing. I'm gonna go ahead and do my thing. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Y'all be safe.